Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me, Nate Almighty, and today this video is a doozy, man. This video is intricate, and I'm going to explain exactly how Phil Russo will be the one sticking Stefano in his own furnace after he finds out not only that Stefano is a rat, but also that Stefano is the one who put the hit out on Sal Baselli. We're gonna find out that those two gentlemen were very close to each other, okay? And the person who will be able to expose Stefano will be Raqs, as Stefano will have the pressure on him from Russo and the higher ups, which will cause him to be disloyal to Raqs and maybe even set up Raqs to be killed. And he will botch the job, and Raqs will find this out, and she will realize, I have to deal with Stefano as well as having to deal with the feds. And in the middle of all of this, I will also explain how Raqs will end up giving up Marvin to the Mafia in exchange for them being off of her back and also leaving Jukebox and Kanan alone, as Raqs will have to disappear by the end of season 4. Why? Because her secrets, as far as being an informant to Howard, will be exposed, as well as the Mafia will be on her ass. This video is going to be intricate. This video is going to be a doozy. This video is going to be legendary. It's going to be another banger. Subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's get to it. All right, now, y'all, let's break it down like this. Phil Russo's existence already means Stefano will definitely die, as Stefano's introduction meant that Sal's death will inevitably come, and it came and it happened. Before a main character dies in power, we already know they always introduce the replacement right before. The only question at this point is how and when will Stefano die? Now, even if Stefano wasn't a snitch early on in the season, he would still eventually get exposed for using Raqs and Marvin to kill Sal Baselli. And we already know that an unsanctioned murder of a made man in the Mafia is a violation punishable by death immediately. So let's take a look at how Phil Russo will come into play and how Stefano and Raqs will be affected by it. Phil Russo is described as a no-nonsense man, and he will step to Stefano about not being able to eliminate the Thomas family for all the problems that they caused the Mafia over the previous 2-3 seasons. Russo will likely also have a cop on his payroll who will tell him that Marvin is the prime suspect in the death of Sal Baselli, and may even know who Raqs is too and demand her life to be taken as well. Stefano will be told the higher-ups will take his life very soon if he doesn't produce some accurate results. Stefano will feel the pressure, and he will know that he is basically screwed. He will have to find a way to set up Raqs and Marvin to die, while also preventing them from exposing his faults to the Mafia. He will eventually botch the job in some kind of way. Raqs will have an ally who tells her what Stefano is up to, as she will also likely have some suspicions as well as the possibility that Stefano is a rat and already sent the feds in her direction over the death of Howard with Marvin for the death of Sal as well. But them not dying puts Stefano in a losing position, because they can still expose him for putting the hit on Sal, right? So Stefano will still need a way to protect Raqs and let her trust in him enough for him to be able to know where she and Marvin is at, so he can kill them both, so he can't be exposed, right? Thus, Raqs will understand the severity of the situation, and she will decide there's only one way to possibly save her family from the Mafia, if she even has a chance to begin with. And that's by giving proof that Stefano is a rat, as well as proof that Stefano had them kill Sal. she will have to get close to Phil Russo in order to do that, right? Within that process, she will find out who Phil Russo is and will find him in a public place and introduce herself. This is the crime underworld. It will not be difficult for her to find out who Stefano's higher ups are or where they're at. It won't be difficult to do that. She will find Russo. She will admit who she is and how she met Sal and Stefano. She will admit that Marvin killed Sal. She will offer Stefano, saying she helped save all the higher ups in the Mafia from a RICO case by proving to them that Stefano is in fact a rat. Russo will appreciate it, but here's the thing. He's a no-nonsense man. He knows that that's still not enough, and he will tell Raq that is not enough. Russo will want Marvin's life and for the Thomas family to leave the game and disappear. He's going to tell her, there's no way you're going to get out of this without either you or Marvin's life being given up, if not both of y'all. He took the life of a made man. His life has to be taken, all right? But Raq will say, hey, but we got kids, blah, say, blah. Russo will say, okay, Kanan and Jukebox, they will be left alone, okay? And then when you mention Lou, who's part of the Thomas family 3, right? Lou will likely be fine because he is out of the game already and won't be a problem, okay? He'll just be a drunk. And as long as he's not snitching, there's no reason for anyone to do anything to him. Raq will understand that had she given up Marvin back when Sal told her to, that they wouldn't be in a position they are in now. Now, if you remember, a few seasons back, Marvin wanted to kill Tony Deep, so he had Sal's son come and help him. Sal's son ends up dying. This is something that Raq was not aware of. And truth is, she was supposed to give Marvin up. She chose not to, probably because she already gave Marvin up to go to jail back in the day, and she didn't want to do it again, right? But with the feds after them anyways, and Raq's secrets as an informant being exposed to the streets, and I'm going to do a video about how her secrets will be exposed to the streets, right, in the future. Raq will absolutely have to leave New York City anyways. So Raq will agree to Russo's deal so that she can finally leave the game and possibly go find Symphony. She'll be retired from the game without having to hide from the Mafia, making the feds her only worry. And y'all better believe by the end of the season, if Raq disappears, she will have a plan. So the question is Raq the first ghost, right? Is Raq the first ghost? Or is Raq actually the first person, right, who faked her death, right? So now let's take a look at the couple different scenarios that can and will come from Raq deciding to give up Marvin and betray Marvin, all right? It's possible, right? Marvin finds out Raq put him in jail back in the day. Only for him, and by the way, this would happen about halfway through the season, right? This is like an episode 4 or 5 thing, right? Only for him to forgive Raq by the end of the season and still get set up by Raq, okay? This could lead to Jukebox trying to kill Raq before she disappears. How she finds Raq? By following Kanan, because Raq would want to see Kanan before she left. With Jukebox possibly catching her first body with the gun her father gave her and having to get rid of it, she would try to use a knife on Raq, with Kanan getting in the way and getting the scar on his neck. While Kanan's bleeding, he would tell Raq to still leave and that he is okay. Jukebox will come back to her senses, she'll help Kanan, and then out of her guilt and out of her grief of losing Nicole, losing Marvin, right? Seeing the betrayal of Marvin, realizing that she almost killed Kanan, she will then leave and go to the army. And this is why Kanan will forgive Jukebox, and they will still deal with each other and love each other up until the point where he kills her over Tariq. It's because, yo, I know this is my mother's fault. We was born into this. We already know that Jukebox has enough awareness to understand that it's not Kanan's fault of whatever happened between Raq and Marvin and how it affects her. She knows that. Now, scenario 2, the Mafia takes both Raq and Marvin. Okay? Scenario 3, Raq leaves ahead of Marvin, intending to betray Marvin, but then feels guilty and gives Marvin a clue that the Mafia is on his head, okay? Marvin escapes the feds, but runs into the Mafia, dies in the shootout. He will have said bye to Jukebox earlier that day, but what make things even more tragic for Jukebox and will justify how dark she becomes in the future is if Marvin never gets to say bye, right? And like I said, this could all happen with Lou maybe surviving into the next season as well as the series. There's not much time. I do not believe we will get to the end of season 4 and Raq and Marvin are not going to be like either locked up, running away from the feds, somebody dies or something. They do not have a whole 2 seasons to do that. If season 5 is the last season of Raising Kanan, they're going to need Raq, Marvin, and maybe even Lou out of the way in order for them to introduce the new characters who we're going to see go into Power Origins. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Can't teach that shit, nigga. Come on. That's God-given. That's touched by an ink. That's on the dome, nigga.